Hello, my name is Tanya Clark. I'm one of the team leaders for North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. Today, we're going to talk about user accounts within the rental and compliance reporting systems. So we want to start under Manage User Accounts. I do need to make you aware that only those that have the administrative role in the rental compliance reporting system will be able to see the Manage User Accounts tab in RCRS. So for today, we'll pretend that everyone has the ability to see this particular tab. Under the Manage User Accounts, you'll see that you have the ability to manage the users for your management company. You have the ability here to actually, by clicking Add New Users, to enter in new users for your management company in the system. For the sake of time, we're going to go to one that I've already previously created. His name is Donald Bullard. So by clicking on the little magnifying glass, you'll see that I've entered his name, his first name, his last name, his title, he's a duck, his email address, and you know that he's rendered active in the system by the box here. If at any time someone actually separates from your agency or your management company, you will come back into Manage User Accounts and uncheck the active button, okay? But for right now, we're going to leave it checked. I've entered in his work number. And as a rule, the actual street address is listed here and the mailing address. If you need to change this information, you would simply uncheck the box and the system will allow you to update with the correct information, okay? But for our purposes, we're going to leave it as is. And we're going to go down and it will actually say create. But because we've already done this, it says save. So we want to save it once again. Okay. So now we want to go back and we want to go up under login. Okay. I want to make you aware that this is the first and only time that you'll have the ability to go in and change your user ID. As it stands, the system will do a preview of what your user ID could be. It's up to you to determine whether you agree with that or if you want to change it. But this is the time to make that decision. After you hit create login, unfortunately, you will not be able to update your user ID. The next thing I want to make you aware of is the property access, meaning how much access do you want this individual to have within RCRS for your properties. As you can see here, there are several to choose from. You have none, administrator, user, and read only. None typically was created for management companies who wanted to put in a placeholder for staff who would never actually utilize the system. So if you have a site manager who pretty much will not be actually going into the system, but you want to make us aware of their name, their telephone number for physical inspections and things of that nature, you would utilize none. I'm going to skip over the next one and go to user. A user, for all intensive purposes, has the run of the system, but they can only see the properties that you've assigned to them. So they can go in, they can enter in utility allowances, they can review file reviews, physical inspections, various items within the system, but only the properties that they've been assigned. The next is read-only. The read-only designation typically was created for owners who wanted to be able to see everything regarding their properties, but necessarily didn't want to go in and do anything with that information. So read-only was an additional access for RCRS for management. Last but not least is administrator. The administrator has the run of the entire system, and all notifications pertaining to all the properties within their portfolio, they will receive notification. So I always warn people, make sure that if you select this, you are ready to receive everything pertaining to your management company via email through the system, because that's essentially what you're saying. Also, when your staff get locked out, you will be the one that has the ability to go in and unlock their accounts. So just make sure that you're ready for the responsibility that goes along with that particular designation. Okay? So for our purposes today, Mr. Bullard is going to be considered a user. Also want to make you aware that if your property is participating in the targeting program and they are responsible for reporting vacancy and referral, you will need to click the report vacancy box. Okay. For all intents and purposes, we do have users who have no access to RCRS per se, but they strictly have access to the vacancy and referral system. Please keep in mind that the vacancy and referral system was generated for Department of Health and Human Services so that the units that are participating in that program can be reported to them. If you have any issues or problems with the system itself, you can contact the agency. However, if it's with content, we ask that you would contact Department of Health and Human Services. Now that we've made our various selections here, we're going to click on Create Login. And once we click on Create Login, we're able to go back in and look for his login here. But we're not finished. Remember, I said that he can only see the properties that he has been assigned. So our next step is to click on Assign Properties. So as you can see now, we see our organization, the name of our user, their email address, and the names of their properties. We now have the ability to go in and select the properties that we want him to be able to navigate. So I've selected a couple of properties here, and I'll click OK. So now when Mr. Bullard goes into the system, he will be able to go in and see only the properties that we've given him access to. Okay. I also want to make you aware, as an administrator, coming back to this screen, you can easily identify if you receive a call from one of your users, whether they're locked out or not, whether they have been. You can come over here and it will actually say yes under locked. If that is the case, what I would recommend that you do is come back in under their login, and at the top, there would be a red bar here that says unlock. You'll click the unlock, and then if they have forgotten their password, you'll reset their password and hit Save Changes. I also wanted to show you that, as you can see right now, everyone that's currently in the list is active. If you ever need to see everyone that was ever assigned within your particular management company access, you can click all and they become visible in your listing. Sometimes this is necessary if you remove an individual or a user from the system prior to actually going in and removing a tag that has been assigned to that individual. And we will talk about tagging later on in another video, but I want to make you aware of that. So this concludes our tutorial on how to update your users. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. Once again, my name is Tanya Clark. My number where I can be reached is 919-877-5665. Have a wonderful day.